If we could put down all our blinkies and Rugers, if I could bring together the 60s and Hoovers, if I could unite disciples and vice lords and give them both something more important to fight for, and if I could unite all the Harlems and Brims, then we can rise as the people and our stardom begins. We Israelites, Native Latinos, Negroes, Garvey X and Geronimo, just a few of my heroes.
Alright, first and foremost, we want to give call halal Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. That's all praises to the Most High God. And the name is only begotten Son who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. We are the Sakari Hebrew Israelites. We come out week in and week out to preach the downfall of the so-called white man. The downfall of the rest of these nations and the uprising of who? The Israelites, you blacks, Latins, and Native Americans.
That's right.
You know, and the prophesied is the destruction of America, man, because America got to go, man. You know, it's too homosexual. Anything, it's just the epitome of wickedness, man.
Right.
All right? And the whole earth knows it, and the whole earth follows who? America, man. All right? So that's why this place got to go. It got to be destroyed. Just like Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed, okay? All right? But let's go ahead and pull down this color stronghold, right? So I'm going to go into a quick lesson about color scriptures. You know, it's certain scriptures that people use, right, that elders in Israel have been using for a long time, right? And the way that they spin it is certain scriptures are talking about, you know, saying Israel is black. You know, well, all scriptures are not saying that. You know, you have to read context, you know, and, you know, through the spirit of empower Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. When you get the context, you got to bring out the truth, okay? But also, we're going to tear down the lie that they've been propagating to us throughout our existence, you know, through us coming up in secular history, that what? The Israelites are white people.
Right.
The Israelites are red people, you know, sitting over there on the land having gay parades, man. All right? So we're going to dispel that with the Bible, okay? Because the Bible is the book of the Israelites. That's right. All right? Give me Genesis 42 and 3. So we're going to go through color scriptures, right? These are scriptures that you can use. These are rudimentary scriptures that you can use to show anybody that doesn't even read the Bible that what? The Israelites are black people. The so-called black people, brown people with melanin, man. All right? Go ahead.
Genesis chapter 42, verse 3.
Go ahead.
And Joseph's 10 brethren went down to buy corn in Egypt.
So you got Joseph and his 10 brothers. They going to buy corn in Egypt, right? Now these are the same brothers who sold Joseph into slavery, right? Yes, you sold your brother into slavery, all right? But this is the thing, right? They're in Egypt, okay? So if there was a bunch of white brothers, you know, coming through Egypt, they would stick out like a sore thumb, man. And we all know that the ancient Egyptians were what? Right. So-called black people, right? Go ahead and skip to 6.
Verse 6.
No, matter of fact, give me 10 and 6. Genesis 10 and
6. Genesis chapter 10, verse 6. And the sons of Ham, Cush and Mizraim.
The sons of Ham, Cush and Mizraim, right? Are these not Egyptians? Go ahead.
And Phut and Canaan. And the sons of Cush,
right?
Seba and Havilah and Sabta and Rama and Sabtaka, and the sons of Rama, Sheba and Dedan.
All right, you can stop right there. We're just gonna get this point right here, right? They throughout the Bible, they equate us with the Egyptians, correct? And the ancient Egyptians were what color? They were so-called brown people, man. All different shades of brown, man. All right, so how in the hell can you compare a modern-day Israeli to an ancient Egyptian? No, the hell you can't, man. Right? So that tells you that what? The so-called people of this book are brown, just like this. Behold your Bible up, right? We got color, man. All right, we don't look like this, okay, so-called white man. This is you. This is us. All right. Give me Genesis 42 and 7, man.
Genesis chapter 42, verse 7.
Read it out.
And Joseph saw his brethren.
And Joseph saw his brothers, right? So the same ones who put him in, because you got to understand, after they put him in, after they sold Joseph in slavery in Egypt, he became a viceroy in Egypt, man. He became, you know what I'm saying, prominent in the land of Egypt, man. So this is at the time where he's gained popularity and stature, man. And this is why his brothers are not recognizing him, because, you know, when we threw you in slavery, you was just a regular nigga, right? But now you got all this power, man, right? Go ahead.
And Joseph saw his brethren, and he knew them, but made himself strange unto them.
But he made himself strange unto them, right? Because what? When Joseph was in Egypt, what did he have on? He was dressing like the Egyptians, right? You know what I'm saying? And he had a certain, and he held a certain prominent stature within the land of Egypt. So 9 times out of 10, he probably had on Egyptian garb, looking like an Egyptian. So his brothers wouldn't even know who the hell he was, right? Go ahead.
And spake roughly unto them.
Spake roughly unto them. You know what I'm saying? He still loves his brothers, but guess what? I mean, it turned out good, but y'all sold me into slavery, man. You know, I'm cursing you niggas out, right? Go ahead.
And he said unto them, whence come ye?
Where you coming from, man? What you doing here, man? Right? Go ahead.
And they said, from the land of Canaan to buy food. What is
the land of Canaan? The land of Israel, right? Well, it was known as the land of Canaan first, and then we ran the Canaanites out, then it became the land of Israel, but that's the same land mass, man. All right? And we know that the Canaanites were also so-called brown people, man. All right? So let's get that straight, man. Give me, that was verse 8? That was verse 8, all right. Give me 8.
And Joseph knew his brethren.
And Joseph knew his brethren, read.
But they knew him not.
But they knew him not, go ahead.
And Joseph remembered the dreams which he dreamed of them. And he said unto them, ye are spies, to see the nakedness of the land ye are come.
Okay, drop that. No. Give me Exodus 2 and 15. Exodus 2 and 15.
Exodus chapter 2, verse 15.
Bring it up.
Now when Pharaoh heard this thing,
go ahead.
He sought to slay Moses.
He thought to slay Moses, right? An Israelite man, right? Right. Go ahead.
But Moses fled from the face of Pharaoh.
He fled from the face of Pharaoh. Go ahead.
And dwelt in the land of Midian. And
so how can he flee somewhere to some place where it's not a whole bunch of other people that basically had the same skin color as him? Why would you, like, I can't go hide in a white neighborhood thinking that I'm not going to stand out, right? It would make no sense, right? Just some nigga, you know what I'm saying, in Beverly Hills amongst all the whites. You know, amongst all these crackers, man. I'm going to go, if I'm hiding, I'm going to want to blend in, right? Right. Go ahead. You got it? Exodus 2 and 15 through 19.
When Pharaoh heard this thing, he sought to slay Moses.
He thought to slay Moses. Go ahead.
But Moses fled from the face of Pharaoh.
And let me just give you a backstory on this, right? It was an Egyptian that was trying to kill another Israelite. Moses had woke up to who he was when he was in the land of Egypt. And he said, nah, man, you're not going to be killing my brother. So what did he end up doing? He ended up killing that damn Hamite Egyptian.
That's right.
That's why he's on the run. Okay? Go ahead.
And dwelt in the land of Midian, and he sat down by a well. 16. Now the priest of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and drew water, and filled the troughs to water their father's flock.
Go ahead.
And the shepherds came and drove them away, but Moses stood up and helped them, and watered their flock.
Go ahead.
18. And when they came to Ruel, their father, he said, how is it that ye are come so soon today? And they said, an Egyptian delivered us out of the hands of the shepherd.
That's the point. An Egyptian, right? So they're talking about Moses, but they're likening him up unto an Egyptian.
Right.
Right? Why are they doing this? Because he looks like an Egyptian. Which means that, because the Bible also tells us that the Most High put a difference between the Israelites and the Egyptians, right? Meaning like in phenotypes and facial features, but you also have to understand that even Moses himself had an Egyptian wife. So we've been mixing with the nations for I don't know how long. But the point is, they think he's an Egyptian. Why? Because of his skin tone, man. All right? Drop that. Give me Exodus 4 and 6. Exodus 4 and 6. We're going to read to 7. All right.
Exodus chapter 4, verse 6.
Go ahead.
And the Lord said furthermore unto him, put now thine hand into thy bosom.
He's telling Moses to put his hand into his bosom, right? Go ahead.
And he put his hand into his bosom.
He put his hand into his bosom. Go ahead.
And when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow.
Was as leprous as snow. When you get leprosy, what does your skin turn to? White, right? So if it turned white when he put it into his bosom, that means it had to be the opposite color before he did it, man. You know, I can't turn leprous if I'm already leprous, right? Bring that out again. From the top.
And he said, put thine hand into thy bosom again.
Put thy hand into thy bosom again. No, stop from the top.
And the Lord said furthermore unto him, put now thy hand into thy bosom.
Put his hand into his bosom, read.
And he put his hand into his bosom, and when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow.
It was the opposite color of of the original color that the skin was.
And he said, put thy hand into thy bosom again.
Put thy hand into thy bosom again. Go ahead.
And he put his hand into his bosom again, and plucked it out of his bosom, and behold, it was turned again as his other flesh.
It was turned again as his other flesh. What was the rest of his flesh? It was still brown, man. All right? So this is another scripture you can go to show that these fake Jewish rats, when they walk up to you and say, oh, I'm a real Jew. No, you're not, buddy. You don't fit the description of the Bible. You don't fit the curses. You don't fit a damn thing, man, but being a goddamn devil.
That's right.
All right? A deceiver, man. All right? A proud, pompous jackass. Go ahead.
This is Numbers, chapter 12, and verse, chapter 12, and verse, chapter 12, verse 10, Salakia.
Go ahead.
And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow.
That was through the Spirit. I was going to get that too. But Miriam became what?
Leprous, white as snow.
She became leprous, right? So that means she wasn't originally a leper, correct? So what color was she before she turned white? She was brown, man. The Lord smit her with leprosy because she spoke against Moses' wife. Moses had an Egyptian wife. 1 minute. Moses had an Egyptian wife, right? So, and she didn't like that, man. She's like, man, what the hell you doing with this Hamite, man? You know? But, you know what I'm saying? She was a part of Moses' house. And the Most High didn't like that, man. He like, man, you speaking against my prophet, so guess what? I'm going to turn you leprous, man. Right? Yeah. Go ahead.
And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous.
She was leprous, right? For speaking up against Moses in his house. Go ahead.
And Aaron said unto Moses, alas, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not the sin upon us wherein we have done foolishly, and wherein we have sinned.
So basically, Aaron is pleading to the Most High like, hey, man, nah, man, my sister can't be a leper forever, man. Don't turn us lepers. We sorry, man. You know? But that's what ended up happening, man. But if you become a leper, that doesn't mean you was leprous before. You became one, right? So that means you went from having color to not having color, all right? That's the point. Give me 1 Samuel 17 and 42. 17 and 42. Matter of fact, I want that in the ISB. Give me Job 30 and 30. Somebody pull up their ISB. 1 Samuel 17 and 42 in the ISB. You give me Job 30 and 30.
Job chapter 30, verse 30.
Read.
My skin is black upon me.
My skin is what upon me?
My skin is black upon me.
My skin is black upon me, right? This is Job speaking. Read.
And my bones are burned with heat.
And my bones are burned with heat. Now, this is the crazy thing, right? When white people's skin get burned with heat, they gotta go put on sunburn and everything, right? But when it comes down to us, what do? We absorb it, man. It makes us glow, right? Go ahead.
My heart also is turned to mourning, and my organ into the voice of them that weep.
Right, drop that. got it?
June 30,
No, not June 30. 1 Samuel 17:42 in the ISV. Now, let me tell y'all something about Jeremiah 14:2. This is not saying that the tribe of Judah is black, okay? That's been a major misconception throughout time, but we're going to rectify it right now. Go ahead.
Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2.
Read.
Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground.
The gates thereof language, they are black unto the ground. It didn't say that Judah was black unto the ground. It's describing the gates. Why were the gates black unto the ground? Because our temple got ransacked, you know, and they basically, you know what I'm saying, laid our land desolate, man. You know what I'm saying? But this is not to say that Judah isn't black people, but in context, it's describing the gates of Judah, okay?
That's right.
That's what you need to know. All right. So because if somebody runs up on you and you go to that scripture and they know the Bible a little bit, they're gonna cut you. They're gonna say, "Hey, that's talking about the gates, man," and they're not gonna be wrong. So I advise you not to even go there. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of other color scriptures you can go to in context that's actually telling you that the Israelites are black.
This Chicago, nigga. This Chicago, nigga.